What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Press X Podcast, episode 34, your weekly podcast for nerdy news and opinions coming at you each and every Monday at noon Eastern. I am Kevin McManus. With me, as always, Kellen Willard.
Meh.
The man with all the wrong opinions, except for
you
maybe this week.
You already introduced yourself. Yeah.
Nick Castle. We're going to be talking a little bit about PlayStation Plus. The price of that's going up, how we feel about that. We'll be talking about this PlayStation 4 Slim. We're going to be talking about the games with gold for next month. But first, let's talk about what we have been playing, what we've been watching, just what we've been doing since last week.
Sleeping. That's about it. No. More League. Went through Halo 4. Better than I remember. Still
Really?
okay.
Until that last part.
Well, until the end where I'm sad.
Yeah.
The game's better than I remembered it. Not as good as the first 3.
You ready for 5?
No.
Are you ready for the 4 hours?
No. I installed it today. I hadn't started it yet, though. Instead of doing that, I went and started Final Fantasy Tactics, which I've never played through. So we're trying that out.
How you liking that?
The 30 minutes of it I've played, I liked. It's just, like, a normal real-time strategy game so far with Final Fantasy characters. So far, so good.
Haven't played it. Wouldn't know.
Yeah, you don't play strategy games, so.
Not like that, no.
No. Even though I just gave you a Fire Emblem, which is the same thing.
I'm going to try it out.
Yeah, you're going to try and hate it.
Which one?
Birthright.
Okay.
I wanted Conquest, but he told me no.
No. You're not getting
It's
that.
a little above your pay grade.
Finished Tokyo Mirage finally.
Yay.
Yeah, it took long enough.
Overall thoughts?
Really like it. Very good. Ending was satisfying.
Yeah, I agree.
I liked it.
I'm sure Nick's chipping away at it.
We'll get to me.
Eventually. He'll chip away someday.
I'm pretty sure Nick's only done one thing all week.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what that is, too. That's about all I've done. Watch some movies. Watch some anime. Watch the Neon Genesis movies, finally.
Nice.
That's what I brought back for you, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Super Nintendo's better than the Genesis, though.
No, I had a Genesis instead of a Super Nintendo.
I went back to the Suffering the Ties That Bind. I'm trying to get through that PS2 game. I really like. It's weird because there's moments of that game that are like actually really terrifying. They did a really good job, and then they like instantly transition into you fighting hordes of enemies for like 15 minutes, and you're like, all right, you ruined the scary part of the game.
You killed it.
Yeah, like there's one part where you walk into a freezer and the door locks on you, and it like plays this flashback that you can interact
like Jurassic
with.
Park.
And it plays this flashback that you can interact with, and it was really cool, and it was actually scary. And I was like, wow, this is one of the best like set piece parts of the game. And then like it opens, and then there's just waves of enemies, and I'm like, god damn it, why do they do this? So I have like a very love-hate relationship with that game right now. Too much action for a survival horror game, that's for sure. I mean, you can literally play the game in first person. There's a button to switch to first person. You can
What's
just
wrong
murder
with that?
everything. Nothing's wrong with it. It's helpful for aiming, but
Yeah.
I've been playing more of that Virtue's Last Reward. I really like that game. I would, as of right now, I would almost put it on my top 5 Vita games. I really, really, really enjoyed it. I went and bought Zero Time Dilemma, which is the third one in the series. That game's hard to find, Zero Time Dilemma. It's not in stock. It still hasn't been in stock at Best Buy. It was in the day it came out and has not come back. Amazon randomly had it for $32 new for some reason. So they had one copy of it, $32 new, and I bought it like within 10 seconds of it switching prices. I was like, I need that. But yeah, really liking that game. You do your story branches, whatever. I'm on the 3rd branch, and I'm figuring out a lot of stuff about the characters. I've learned about the backstories of a lot of them. So going into this 3rd one, I have a completely different perspective. And you get to choose if you want to ally with people or betray them. And things are getting real heated. Everybody's just betraying everybody. It's a lot of good fun. And then I've been playing Guild Wars 2 again. Because my little sister's like, I want to play that Guild Wars game where I get to tame animals. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And
you can tame animals in that game?
If you're a ranger, you can. And then I ended up playing it, and I was like, and I just like started doing my story again, and I put so many hours. I did my age on that thing. I have 1,500 hours logged in as my chick. And
yeah, that's how the MMOs get you.
Yeah.
I'll just play this for a little bit.
Yeah. I ended up
months later.
I ended up doing a bunch of my stories. I fought a bunch of bosses. I was like, man, I really like this game.
It's all right.
And then other than that, I set in my pre-orders for the year. So I told you, I think I told you everything I got, but
I've got a bunch of
you were
pre-orders
conferencing me on that.
Yeah, and I'll run through them. I'll let you know what I got. I got
maybe got like 2 out of the ones I listed.
Yeah, well, I thought about one of them. I was really teetering on. I decided not to get it. So I did the Batman Arkham VR because I want the VR games. I did the Tomb Raider for PS4.
Sorry.
That also comes with the VR stuff. I got Rez Infinite for the VR. Just had to get enough VR games to keep me satisfied. I got Pokemon Moon. So I'm locked in.
There we go.
Fine with that one.
I got the Pokemon game.
You didn't get Sun and Moon?
No, I just got Moon. I don't care about Sun.
Nah, that's just me.
No, I got both of them. I got the still case.
Good man.
Yeah, I just got Moon. Gravity Rush 2, of course, the best game.
They're making a second one of those?
The Last Guardian. All right.
I'm fine with that. That's whatever.
Yeah.
And then the ones that... What else did I get? I think there was one or two more. But the one that I was really teetering on was Final Fantasy. I kept like adding it and removing it and adding it and removing it. I was like, I
mine.
really don't know if I want this game.
Did the delay help or hurt that?
I canceled mine.
Definitely hurt.
Your chances of getting it?
Well, the problem is Gravity Rush 2, which is literally my most anticipated game that hasn't released yet, comes out on the 3rd of December, which is like 4 days later.
Oh, okay.
And so does South Park, and I want to play South Park too. I just haven't played Stick of Truth yet, so I'm waiting for the PS4 Stick of Truth to come out. But so I got that, and then I got the Batman Telltale physical thing just to see what that is, because I was kind of confused on if you can lend that to somebody or anything, and I was Googling it and nobody had a straight answer for me, so I just went and pre-ordered it because I haven't played it yet. I figured I might as well wait because that comes out next month, and I think there might be one or two that I'm missing, but I did a bunch of pre-orders. Not bad.
I went ahead and did that a couple weeks ago. So
I thought another one I was teetering on was Call of Duty. I had the $80 Call of Duty, which makes it like 63 or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe they're going to release this thing separate. I don't know. So I deleted it, and it'll be like something like maybe if Christmas comes along and somebody's like, you want something? I'll be like, you can give me the Call of Duty. Whatever.
That's the best time to play Call of Duty is Christmas. So
this one
there's
everybody's
a billion
on.
people on. Yeah.
Yeah. So those were my pre-orders, and barring one or two that I forgot.
Yeah.
I got the important ones, which is... I got Recore as well. That's the other one.
Yeah, I've got that on pre-order.
I got the $200 edition of Recore.
Yeah, I don't have that on pre-order. Mine's the regular, like...
I'm really, really hoping that game's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
But the Recore statues, I think there's only a couple... And there might be 1,000, maybe. Like, there's not a lot of them. And they're hand-painted, like... 13-inch statues, so it's going to be a really nice statue. So I was like,
who is the statue? Is it the little dog-looking one?
It's the dog and Jewel, I believe is her name, standing with her gun. It's basically the cover of the game, I think. Yeah. It's really, really, really pretty and like it's a bright statue. It's cool.
Yeah, I've got that on pre-order.
I think it was like 170 or something. I was like, fuck it.
That game's in a couple of weeks, isn't it? About 3 weeks or so.
I think it's the 13th of September. Yeah.
Or 2 weeks, maybe.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Sweet.
That's it for me.
Let's see. I started the week and I grinded about an hour of Tokyo Mirage. Just wanted to get back into it. I mean, not that we're not all used to the kind of Persona Shin Megami, sort of. Yeah. Oh, hey, there it is. Play style.
Had to bring
but
out
I wanted
the
to get back
collection.
into it and grind some levels out and do all that because I'm sort of in the middle of chapters, so I couldn't really do or progress too much. Also did Persona 4 Golden, about a month in game time.
Mm-hmm.
Cleared the first dungeon. Having a lot of fun with that. I'm doing a max social link run through because I did 4 before 3 and didn't do so hot in the social link department because I wasn't used to.
They don't explain it very well.
No.
Yeah, it was a lot to handle.
I had some heads up, so I did better than I thought I would.
Yeah,
so.
the day-to-day kind of grind, I didn't pick it up really until like mid-game, and it was already too late for a lot of people. And yeah, Tuesday hit, so Deus Ex, Mankind Divided. Played that every free chance I got up until the weekend. And as far as games, that's about it. Anime, I'm doing like a Berserk run through. Also watching some sports animes.
I started season 2 of Domino Ace finally.
There you go. Great show. And yeah, that's about it. No movies, just games all week. Sort of the flip-flop from the week before.
How is Deus Ex? How's it hold? Is it?
How much time we got?
You got it on the PC, right?
PC.
Because the PS4 version I've heard, or just the console version in general, I've heard mixed things on. But I've been actually listening a lot to this game. It sounds really cool. And I believe you told me that there's a recap at the beginning.
Yeah, I think it's 12 minutes is what it warns
so you can just hop in.
So you can hop in. It literally tells you it's the main game or the main character narrating this is what I did in last game, and he'll run you through it, and you get to see all the cutscenes and stuff like that.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very noob friendly because, like I said, it was just the previous game and this one where it's got the same main character. The other games have different people, different times, and stuff like that. It's a wonderful game. I'll keep it brief. But yeah, I've played 10 in the teens number of hours. Haven't really done any main mission stuff yet other than what they start you out on. Real pretty. I mean, PC ultra settings, but wow, that game looks amazing.
Yeah, that was the biggest complaint was the console one doesn't even look good. Like it
Really?
looks like a bad game. Yeah.
I've heard buggy and I've heard maybe losing frames and stuff like that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would get it for PS4.
Oh, well,
That's your own fault.
yeah. Can't do much there. But yeah, it's just smooth. Haven't had any problems, which is rare for a PC game now to not come out broken.
It's true.
So that already gets a plus on that end. But yeah, really enjoying it. And soundtrack's just as good as the last one. It's got a weird sort of system. The last game had multiple cities that you could bounce back and forth through. This is one big city.
One huge like hub as far as I understand.
And you take basically like a subway or a train car to all the different parts of the city, so it's sort of the same. And those are the only load times really, which they're kind of long. It actually feels like I'm taking a train to another part of a city.
Really?
In some
Is it
points.
like Bloodborne bad or?
Like when you take the car in
It's-
Grand Theft Auto, you can see everything.
It's actually a loading screen. Like you just see the like scene where he's just standing there in a subway car and it rattling and him looking over at people, just back and forth, and it, like you see the little wheel spinning. So it's an actual loading screen. It's not interactive at all. But yeah,
there's a lot to do when the game loads.
Yeah,
I'm sure. So.
and that's it as far as loading times.
I heard about a mission that like somebody was doing it and took them an hour and a half to get through everything and do it, and then another guy did it and it took him 5 minutes because he went a totally different route. And I was like, that's actually kind of neat.
Hilarious.
Route. Yeah, I can run through one little thing that I did. So basically, the mission was I need to break into a security building, and I need to sneak on someone's computer, get some dirt, and bring it back to these guys so they'll leave my my kind of like building, my station alone, because you're sort of like Interpol, police, you're inspecting and confronting terrorists and stuff like that. That's sort of your role in this game. So easiest route to take would just be shoot up the place.
And the correct route, shoot up.
Yeah, maybe the correct route. But the let's take 90 minutes to do this mission route
no bueno.
is
shoot up the place.
you get up to the point and you see, oh, there's a laser grid, can't get through there. Oh, there's security, can't get through there. So you climb through some ducts, you get all the way to the back, you hack some firewalls. You basically get the whole security system to be a little wonky. You sneak into the director of security's office, hack his computer, send a guy on an errand so he gets out of the way, get past him, hack the computer. Next to that, the security station. All the security's down, the camera's gone, stuff like that. You creep upstairs, do about the same thing, knock a few guys out, get their key cards, get on the computer, find the dirt, go out.
This to me feels like a game that I want to play, but I don't have time to play right now. And it's one of those like instant backlog games where as soon as I have a moment and like the game's discounted and I see it for like $20, I'm gonna pick it up in a heartbeat.
That's why I own the other one. So
yeah, basically,
it's one of those. Yeah, you'll get to January or February. No, not February. Next year. No. But yeah, it's one of those like lull periods, and you see it like, oh yeah, I can play this like 30-hour game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's perfect for one.
So
of those,
I know you haven't beaten it, but do you have any insight into like if I were to just go through the game and murder everyone and like run through it killing people, would I like significantly shorten the game time, or is it set so some missions are longer if you shoot people, some missions are shorter if you shoot people?
I think it's more along the lines of it would take you longer because you're fighting so many people. So
do they call it like reinforcements? Is it one of those games?
Yeah, it's one of those too where, like I said last week, it's one of those where it's a real like normal humans versus cybernetic, enhanced, augmented humans. So there's a lot of distrust for your type in the game. So you can walk through a city and be just fine, even though there's police everywhere. But if you start shooting people, all of a sudden you have police on you, and so it's just a lot more trouble.
I didn't know if it was like one of those ones where you're in a room and there's 3 security guards, and you're like, all right, and you line up the shot and you take out 3, and then they like call reinforcements and the doors open.
You'll
and
see
waves of
you'll
guys
see a guy like run towards
like the lobby in the Matrix.
Yeah, you'll see a guy like run towards the wall panel and hit the alarm, and then all of a sudden. So maybe it's shorter, but your likelihood of dying, because those games are pretty brutal. As far as like difficulty, your chance of dying goes way up. So
definitely
might be shorter, but you also might have to reload the checkpoint, because you die a lot.
I mean, it's not really an open world. I mean, it's got like an open city, but this is the first.
It's not sandbox open world,
right?
Yeah.
This is the first game like that I've had any interest in. Like, I don't care about the Fallout and the stuff like that, but this one sounds interesting to me, and I don't know why.
And it's got all the Kevin things checked off as far as like waypoints that tell you where you need to go. It's not like a journal
game of the year
that just says, "Hey, go talk to the guy."
Should go
and
north.
you're like, "Where was the guy?" Like,
I remember that. I was playing Mass Effect and I like didn't know where any.
Yeah.
It's like, go talk to this guy. I'm like, who the hell is
He
that?
hit the Citadel, and
your first time to the Citadel takes you 3 hours.
My
to
God, I
find
text
anything.
Nick. I'm like, I don't know where this guy is, and you're like, all right, there's gonna be this hallway. This is the picture hanging on the wall in the hallway, and you can make a right at
He's
this.
got a brown jacket.
No,
2
there's a
buttons are
person. Their
unbuttoned.
animation is going to be them scratching their head. You got to make a left at that guy. Oh my God, Nick, you played this game way too much. Also, I found him. Thank you.
He's been through those 3 or 4 times, I think.
Yeah, once or
Jesus
twice,
Christ.
probably. But yeah, it's really fun because I just like that amount of option in a game. Because, like you said, you can get the guy who, I did that mission. Did you do this? And you're like, no, I went the opposite way. I didn't know
it's
there
like
was
the
a vent
Metal
there.
Gear 5.
No, I
thing,
shot everybody.
where nobody did anything the same way.
Well, unless you were awesome, then you just hooked everyone up to that little inflatable thing
and let
sent
them
them
fly
off into
into
the
the
sky while your chopper playing Final Countdown swoops in to pick you up and
that's fine.
Take you home.
Okay, so let's move into the news.
Okay.
First on the ticket. Before Sony's event on the 7th, the PlayStation 4 Slim has apparently leaked, and I don't really think there's an apparently about this because they've literally hooked it up and played it and shown the thing, unboxed it.
I don't know
and
that
everything.
I'd call it a leaky.
Yeah, I mean it was a leak in that it wasn't supposed to happen. So apparently one appeared on an auction site. And somebody got it, and some news website went to them, asked to see the thing, and they went there, they did a video, they unboxed it, they hooked it up. It's real. This thing clearly going to be announced on the 7th at this event, and probably available now, would be my assumption.
Well, for that guy,
Well,
at very worst, it'll be available next week. Like, it's coming
They're
very
on the way,
soon. They've been manufactured, and they're all in box and everything.
At least one of them.
So, nothing super interesting about this. Their big changes are it's uglier, in my opinion.
It's way uglier.
It's definitely smaller, but once again, I feel like the PlayStation 4 is like a fine size. I'm never like, man, I wish that thing was smaller. It's taking up way more space than I want it to.
It stands next to my Xbox One S perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine. It's got a new controller. That's probably the biggest news, and I was excited to hear what this new controller was. Basically, there's a little slit on the front where the touchpad is, so you could see what color the light bar is giving off from the front.
Oh, okay. What
I'm
does that
done.
matter?
Yeah.
The thing is, I almost feel like that's worse because I already placed like horror games with my controller under a blanket, so it won't shine the light bar all over.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And now this is going to be shining it towards me. That sounds awful.
Yeah, I don't know why you would want that.
Nothing about that sounds appealing. Now, I don't know if it's only like when you touch the touchpad to see like what player you are or what. If it like dims after the game starts or something, that would be fine. But I looked at it in the video and it just kind of shines through the front a little bit, and I'm like,
That's the point of that.
yeah, I'm not buying 4 new controllers, that's for sure.
That's disappointing.
And then the other change is that it doesn't have the touch-sensitive buttons, which I never like touch-sensitive buttons.
No.
I think they're annoying. They're cool, like they're futuristic cool, but I would any day of the week rather have a mechanical button that works. For the point being, my PlayStation 3 broke and a disc got stuck inside of it, and I couldn't eject the disc because it broke. And I was like, God damn! I had to rip the whole thing apart to get this disc out. And then I got that new PS3 that just has the tray.
The tray.
And so I'm like, this thing's great. I don't even have to turn it on to get my game out. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So how do we feel about this new leak that's obviously real, but
No surprise. Knew it was coming sooner or later. I don't really care either way.
Yeah,
Surprised at how ugly it is.
I am too.
Fair.
Like, PlayStation makes some pretty hardware.
Yeah.
I feel like this is one of the ugliest things they've made, and I know it's fundamentally the same thing as a PS4, but the just flat sandwich look of it doesn't. It looks like a square Oreo.
It looks like it
gross.
needs to go in the PlayStation 3 grill, like the original one that actually looked like the big grill.
I like that one.
Yeah, just put it inside.
That's fine.
And then just losing the reflective plate and everything just does make it look cheaper. And that brings me to my next question. How much do you think this is going to cost?
Maybe $50 cheaper.
50. So what's it at now? Is it at It's at $299. So you think it'll be
so.
$250?
Something like that.
I think that's what the Xbox One is right now.
Yeah, it depends on the hard drive size, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. How about you? What do
they'll
you?
probably just straight compete with Xbox.
$250.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was $199. To be dead honest, I think if they're going to announce the Neo, they need a reason for people to keep buying
What would they
PS4s.
Bundle it with though?
What game?
Yeah.
Titanfall. That'd be funny.
See, I would assume they're going after new players.
Yeah.
So I think they would bundle it with like
Final Fantasy 15.
No, I think it would be like old games, like 3 old game digital codes, because it's not for people that already own the PlayStation 4 and have one. It's for new people. So they'll be like, here's a digital copy of Uncharted 4, Killzone, and Infamous, or something like that. You know, just get people in the door and be like, oh, that seems like a good deal.
They could do a Witcher 3 Game of the Year edition.
I don't think you're gonna get that. Was Witcher 3 was PlayStation?
Yeah,
partnered.
Yeah. It was on all of them, I think.
I mean, it was on all of them, but their partnership was a PlayStation partnership. I think the cards are exclusive to PS4, if I remember correctly. What are they called? Gwent
cards. Yeah.
I want to know what that game is. I have no clue.
There's a Gwent only game coming out in the not too distant future. So
did you ever do the patch where all the combat's replaced by Gwent?
Yes, that is the best mod in the history.
I've heard about
all
that.
Mods.
It's actually
it turns
a cool
the game
idea.
into Yu-Gi-Oh.
It looks hilarious. Yeah.
Anyway, let's keep on the PlayStation topic and talk about the price of PlayStation Plus, because it is going up. It is now the same price, or not now, but I believe September 22nd or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's going to $60.
Thoughts? Yeah, I'm mad at them anyways.
We're going to talk about that.
I'm mad at them anyways.
Later.
I don't really mind price hike.
See, I don't mind, except for and I don't remember 100%, but I'm pretty sure that it's been recorded if they did. At E3 2013, where they totally just shit on Microsoft and did we're cheaper than you. Yeah. Here's how you trade game or lend games to people and play all that stuff, and they just murdered them. I'm pretty sure at that thing, one of their murdering points was the price of PlayStation Plus. It will never go up. They specifically said something along those lines. Yeah. And now that it's going up, I'm like, well, that's kind of crappy. You know, I personally always buy my stuff on Black Friday. I get 2 of them every 2 years. I buy them on Black Friday because they're $30. At
really
worst,
cheap.
they're $40. So it doesn't bother me that the price is going up. It bothers me that I'm pretty sure they just 100% lied and made a big deal about it. That's the real problem. Yeah, is that was one of their showboating points.
Came out on a stage and said it.
But I'm also fairly sure that during the PS3 era, they probably said something along the lines of, "Our online will never cost money."
It was free. Yeah.
And here we are. So
yeah.
Did they announce any features that are coming, additional things?
No. See, that's the speculation. People assume that you're gonna get something for your extra money, and it might be true. I believe they announced that they're still doing 2 PS4, 2 PS3, 2 Vita, so they're not doing more PS4 games or anything like that. However, I mean, you can assume that I would assume that next month, because next month's the hike, and the month after that will be the best collection of games we've seen so far. That would be my guess, because they want to win people over and be like, look,
this is why we're doing
worth it. And then I bet November, December, mediocre games again. Yeah. That's what I think.
They're doing it too right before all the online shooters and stuff pop out.
Oh, that's true.
Before holiday stuff.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. So you have to do it.
Yeah.
That's kind of crappy.
Or you buy them on PC. And
the rumor, I don't believe it because they're always wrong, but the rumors are that Killzone or Watch Dogs is the free game for September.
I would hope Killzone for everyone else, I guess.
Yeah, I like Killzone. Killzone was good.
Killzone's sweet.
Yeah. It's just a little
Never owned a
dead
Killzone.
now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, giving it to a bunch of people for free is a good
Well,
way
yeah,
to...
because it's only on one system, so that's why it doesn't get, like, tournaments and...
That, and it was a launch game, and it was a launch game on a system where the shooter was still very much in Microsoft's court. Like,
Yeah.
that was their thing still. People didn't look at Sony and be like, buying my shooter here, you know.
Well, and the Xbox wasn't even out.
For like a week, yeah. I
That's
mean,
cool,
it technically wasn't out. I
Technically
do
he's
remember
right.
the day it came out. I
Yeah.
was mad because I pre-ordered mine on Amazon, so I had to wait until the mail came. But I went at midnight with you and bought one for my sister and got one. And then I just watched you stream Killzone all night. I'm like, I'm depressed.
It was real warm that night.
I'm depressed.
It was real warm that night.
Oh, yeah, it was great. I'm glad. So when we went there for that release, they gave us tickets and let us go eat and then come back and just pick the thing up.
Greatest Best Buy ever.
Yeah, I stayed outside of Best Buy when the Wii came out.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't let us do that at all. We had to sit in front of the Best Buy in a line in the freezing cold. I was in New Jersey, so in the freezing cold, and it was awful. And there was a cop there, like monitoring everything. And we were like, "Hey, can we all sit in our car and like just park according to like parking spot 1, 2, and just go down the line?"
No.
And he goes, "No, if you get out of line, you lose your shot at the thing." So
And he'll shoot you.
So
And he'll pistol whip you.
so it became to the point where like my sister and my cousin had to made us sandwiches and like drove sandwiches there because we didn't know when to show up. We showed up at 8 p.m. and it didn't come out till it wasn't a midnight thing. It was when they opened the next day.
Oh, wow.
So we were there.
they're like
we were
12
there
hours
until
before
9 a.m. the next day. So my sister and her cousin like made us sandwiches and drove them to the Best Buy. They got in a car accident on the way there. It got to the point where it was freezing. So me and my other sister who was there with me would take turns being in the car,
Alternating,
warming up. And it was a doozy. But I got a Wii at launch. So that was sweet.
You did it.
All that Twilight Princess.
Congratulations, I guess. I don't know.
It was an experience.
That's commitment right there.
It was much worse than the PlayStation 4 was my point.
I would have seen the lines, just said nope, and went back home.
Well, yeah, we got there and nobody was in line. And I didn't know when to show up. It was like around 8, and I was like, well, I guess we'll wait here until somebody lines up. And then one guy got out with a lawn chair and sat, and then a wave of people all got out of their car and started walking towards it. I was like, oh, shit, we gotta go.
Gotta go.
This is when it starts, huh?
Everybody else was waiting, too.
I guess let's just jump straight into the opposite of the Plus games. We'll talk about the games with gold. They were announced. They're always way earlier. I don't know what Plus is doing. I don't know why it's so hard for them to announce their games
Slacking.
before the month they're supposed to come out. But here we are. We get Earthwalk Festival of Magic. This is a new release that comes out next month. It's a indie RPG game. It looked fine. I don't expect it to be incredible. I expect it to be a fine game from what I saw of it. We get Assassin's Creed Chronicles China. So just the China one. This is apparently the best one of them. I think there's Russia and India. I think that's right.
I don't know. I'm
I
not
think
the
that's a
Assassin's Creed person
trilogy.
anymore. So.
Russians got to be good, though.
But this is the one that I wanted to play the most out of those. They're the 2.5D Assassin's Creeds. They play more like the old Prince of Persia's, which is basically what Assassin's Creed was, turned into at least.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So I would be very happy to get this game for free because it is one of those mid-tier games that you're like, I don't want to buy it,
But I want to play
I want to play it type thing, and perfect. You get it for free.
There you go.
The next one is Forza Horizon.
All right.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And then the final one is Mirror's Edge, the first Mirror's Edge.
Yeah, I'll probably download that.
Yeah. So a solid month.
Sounds good to me.
Good games. Good job. They did it.
I've got Horizon 3 on pre-order.
Yeah, I thought it was weird that they're giving out Horizon so close to the other one.
And not Horizon 2.
Well, that and just the fact that if people really want that game, it's weird to give them a free version of it. That might like scratch somebody's itch and then be like, I already played it.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, maybe I'll just get the free one.
Yeah.
And I'll get the new one.
It seems a little weird. But sticking with Xbox, there's a particular game that was announced. It is finally coming to Xbox on September 13th, and that is The Witness. A huge Game of the Year contender. Many outlets, big outlets, still have this game as their number one. It was also announced, I think it came out last week, that Inside was going to PS4, so they kind of did their their biggest 2 exclusive indie games kind of traded. So that's nice that everybody gets it. Yeah, I played The Witness for a few hours. I'm still waiting to buy it. We'll talk about that a little later. But I loved what I played of this game. I think I played it for 2-3 hours and was like, this game's awesome. Can't wait to play it.
Would you like see a crime and you're in a case or something? The Witness?
And you're the witness?
Yeah.
No, it's so weird. So you're dropped on an island and you're just wandering around the island. There's these little puzzles. You solve the puzzle. It starts out really simple. You solve the puzzle and you're like, all right. And then you walk up to a puzzle that's got all these weird designs and shapes and you're like, what the hell is this? You do it 4 or 5 times and then you fail every time and you're like, why? What is this? And then you turn around and you find another version, like another puzzle that just has one of those symbols. And you figure out what that symbol means. And then you wander the island and you find one with another one of the symbols. And eventually you learn everything until you can go back and do the one that's like a mixture of everything and all that. It's really, really clever. It's really, really good. The puzzles, like you do the puzzle and you feel like a boss when you get one right. You're like, I figured it out. It's very rewarding whenever you solve one. I was just waiting for it to come out physically. And if they don't announce a physical version with it coming to Xbox like they did with Rocket League, because that's what they did. They're like, it's coming to Xbox and it's also coming out. I guess it's not coming and I should just buy the game.
Just buy it already?
Yeah. Let's talk survival horror.
Why?
One of the best genres ever.
If you say so.
One of the most boring genres ever.
You're a crazy person.
Well, yeah, but...
Allison Road, you may remember, the PT spiritual successor, is apparently back. It got canceled. They were a Kickstarter. It's kind of a weird story. They were on Kickstarter, and then he dropped the Kickstarter to go with a publishing company instead because there was so much buzz around this game.
Yeah.
Team 17 was the publishing company. They're doing Ukulele, and then they've done some other games I don't care about, but they're doing Ukulele. So basically, he said that he was messing around with it again recently, and he, I guess, got that spark that I think I can do this. Like, I think I can actually finish it. So the creator, Christian Kessler, is going to work on the project solo. And he says he already has the programming in the game that he can use, and if he needs help, he'll like outsource the help just to get the what he needs done. But he can model and design the story and do everything in the game he thinks as is.
Sounds like a big project for one guy.
It sounds like this game is not coming out. That's honestly
at least before 2020.
Yeah, that's honestly how I feel. Well, I mean, there's great games that have been like Braid was one guy, like The Witness, Axiom Verge was one guy, like literally he did all the music, he did the gameplay, he drew all the sprites, like insane. So there's great games that are all done with one person, and
just not quick games.
Yeah, but like I don't know how long a survival horror game. I almost feel like if you make a survival horror game 3, 4, 5 hours, that's better than doing the 9-hour slug where you're like, okay, all right, like you kind of show all your cards in survival horror games where you're like, okay, they like to put jump scares after the music stops, or they don't, and they just put jump. You kind of figure out how the game works to the point of like Outlast, where you can literally look down a hallway and call everything that's going to happen by the time you're getting to the end of that game. It's horrible. So, yeah, how do we feel about this, Allison? Especially you, because we've talked about it before, and I know you're not the biggest fan. You don't like spooky scaries.
Not at all.
So do you have literally no interest in this game?
If it's that spooky scary, no. I'll watch
Did
streamers play
okay.
it.
Yeah.
And if I feel like something's about to happen, I might look away or laugh at them when they get scared.
No, yeah, this looked good.
Easier.
Like, I would rank, obviously, I've said it a million times, PT, number 1.
It's not even a game, though.
Number 1. Allison Road, like the 15-minute gameplay demo of that, I think is much scarier than Outlast, than Amnesia, than Resident Evil 7, all that stuff. Like, it's good. So I was very excited to hear about all this project, but this worries me. I don't know what happened that made him drop it and like do this little fumble. Maybe it was a personal thing. I don't know, but I'm glad to hear that it's back, and I'm excited to play it. I'd like a demo. That'd be nice.
I don't care.
You can have your demo.
So
That'd be awesome.
let's stick talking about survival horror since it's going over so well. Resident Evil 7.
This one I can do.
Because you like Resident Evil, but you don't like survival horror. Though it's looking like this game isn't as survival horror as it may be.
No, and that's what I was saying last week.
Yeah.
Is like you get people on this hype train of, oh man, it's gonna be a good Outlast or a good, or a real PT or something like that.
that exists.
Like it's gonna do all this, and then you get something like this ESRB rating that drops some hints as to what the game's actually like, and people go, oh.
So yeah, let's go over the bullet points. It's rated M. Not surprising.
Shocker.
It gave the first leak of the story, which is interesting. So if you don't want to know anything, cover your ears and close your eyes. But basically, main character's name's Ethan. He's searching for his wife. This sounds a lot like Silent Hill 2. And he's searching in the mansion. So it's going to take place... I imagine the whole game is going to be you locked in the mansion trying to escape with your wife. I'm sure something terrible's happened to her. She's probably not doing well.
There's not a lot of fun things happening in parts of the mansion.
That is true.
That's fair.
It is officially listed as a first-person game, so we know that the demos aren't lying to us, unlike PT, where they were like, yeah, it might be third-person. It's like, well,
that's one of my favorite parts of PT. Oh, yeah, by the way, it might be third-person.
Oh, we're getting this Norman Reedus guy, but it's going to be in first-person, so he's not actually in the game.
Yeah, what's the point of that?
The other thing is, one of my favorite quotes was they were going over like bullet points of things you might see. They would be like, language, all that stuff. And one of the things they talked about was a shovel taking out somebody by the knee. And then they listed something else, somebody getting like decapitated with a shovel or something. And I just put a lot of shovel violence going on in this game.
That's oddly specific.
Yeah, well, they're very specific.
The leg part is definitely really specific. Like
they had
taking out his leg below the knee or something.
Yeah, they had another one that wasn't with a shovel that was also very specific.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
I can't remember, but they do that a lot because the ESRB does get like. They're like, here's the most intense things for you to rate the game off of. It's like, well, this is rated M.
Yeah, for like Guardians and stuff like that.
Like they tell you what curse words they use and things. They're pretty specific.
With a bunch of asterisks and expletives and stuff like that.
Them out.
They might say F, asterisk, asterisk, asterisk.
And then the big takeaway that I had was they listed weapons, which we knew there would be weapons in combat. Well, I knew because I've played the demo, and you can find a weapon in that game. It doesn't seem to do anything, but you can find an axe and swing it around and kind of get a feel for how it would be. But they were listing a chainsaw and all this stuff. So it seems like you're going to have Resident Evil 4 weapons. So how do we feel about Resident Evil 7 and the first-person combat survival horror game?
I don't know about the first person part because I'm used to my over the shoulder.
I like it better. I like third person so much better.
But
especially in horror.
I feel a lot better about the game for me personally because it's not as spooky, scary. We're not going in a different direction.
I was about to say it's way closer to Resident Evil than I think a lot of people thought it might be.
When they mention chainsaws and stuff like that, but they don't mention in the ESRB rating that, hey, you're going to be cutting heads off with a chainsaw. So that makes me think it's not going to be like a Dead Rising where you can just run around with a chainsaw.
I want to run around. You think
it's more like
a scripted part?
Like you can kill certain things with it, but like you'll use it to get through.
Yeah, there'll be like a barricaded door, and you'll just boom. Oh, it's out of gas. Or,
I was about to say it would be cool if you actually had to like collect gas for it. Yeah. That would be more survival
horror. How much
horror
gas is there in a mansion?
It'll be more puzzle like.
Oh yeah, you're in a mansion. What's
how much
going
gas
on?
Can you find in a
or who leaves a chainsaw
who
inside their
chainsaw? I mean, if I had a mansion, it would have a chainsaw in it.
But yeah,
somewhere.
It'll be like a puzzle piece. Yeah, stuff like that.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's true.
So yeah, I feel a lot better about it. Demos were cool, but I was like, I don't know. These aren't my type of games.
That's a game I had on my pre-order list, and I took it off just because I'm like, wait a second. I literally haven't seen this game. Yeah. Like, I had it on the pre-order, and I was going through the checkout, and like I was going through all my stuff, and I was like, I don't know what this game is. Yeah. I'm taking this off my pre-order.
So I haven't seen like reactions to it, but I am in the camp where this sounds right up my alley.
Interesting.
Where I'm sure there's a lot of people who are
it's not right up my alley. I'm definitely a Silent Hill. I love Silent Hill. Resident Evil has always been like a fringe thing I'm okay with. this makes me happy that it's closer to more Resident Evil than it seemed like.
They didn't go too far out of the way to try to make...
Because they showed off the Lantern demo, which is something else I want to talk about, but they showed that off, and in that demo you do the thing where you like hide behind the crate and the person just walks past you, and I don't like doing that in the survival horror games. Like
I definitely don't.
That's part of the reason I don't like the first-person survival horror games, is that's the way to make it survival horror in first person. And the fact that you might be able to feel at least a little safe with something is nice. That's another thing that the Suffering that I was playing earlier does really well. You find these enemies and you can like murder them, so they're not that scary because you can kill them, but then they'll introduce you to a new enemy that totally wrecks you and you're super scared of it, and then eventually your arsenal gets big enough that you're able to take him out, and then they'll introduce another monster that you can't take down with, and it takes a little bit. And I feel like that might be what we get. Like you got an axe and you can kill like these basic things, but then they're going to introduce you to something else that axe is not going to be very helpful for.
Just catches
and then it
like,
becomes scary again. And then so it's like switches between hunter and hunted as you go through the mansion, which would be cool.
That could be fun.
Do we think that we're going to get that demo? The Lantern one? Because we got the first demo, and the other demo was completely playable, but only at show floors. So do we think they're going to release it like in November or maybe even in September for the PlayStation event? That actually wouldn't surprise me. I just
That'd
thought
be
of
cool.
Because they announced the first thing at the PlayStation event.
Did they do it for pre-orders?
Oh, if you pre-order the game, you get it.
Here's a code for it. Yeah,
unlocks it.
That wouldn't be.
Which would be weird. Hey, play this version of the game that's not really the game.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just supposed to be like the backstory, like the prequel, basically, as far as I understand.
Give you some information on the characters, yeah.
That would be cool if they did do, I don't know, 4 total of these demos.
Yeah, one
then,
for
like,
each family member.
Released it as like a Chronicles or something like that, so you could.
That would be awesome. I would buy a special edition that had them all. If I think that'd be cool. But anyway, finally, we'll talk about something that I watched this. I had no clue what it was, so you can go ahead and take the floor on this. Dark Souls 3, the Ashes of Arendelle trailer dropped. Yeah. I wrote, comes out October 25th. I got nothing because I had no clue what I was looking at that was new, that was old.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess you guys aren't big Dark Souls people. So it's a lot of stuff. New area, new enemies, new weapons, new armor. Just a new batch of everything.
It's similar to Bloodborne. Yeah. Expansion.
Yeah. Oh. So that's the first thing. It's a nice snowy little area, so it looks pretty awesome.
There's nothing nice in Dark Souls.
I'll say that it increases the lore of the game, but as you guys might not know, the lore in those games comes from like you pick up an object and you read its description, and it's got lore in it. You don't get a journal, a codex, a narrator.
Does it store it for you to look at again?
Yeah, it's literally like your weapons. Like your sword might be the sword of someone from 100 years ago who you just killed.
The sword of Kevin McManus.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So all of the lore is through key items and weapons and even your clothes and stuff like that. So that's how you get the story. So that's how the story branches out. And so this DLC is going to have, like, maybe in the main game you fought the queen of something. Well, now the king's going to show up.
Gotcha.
Or now these big, spooky, scary monsters are going to show up. And it showed a couple that are, like, it feels like he was, like, 100 feet away from the thing, and you still couldn't see it full screen. Like,
it looks like Bloodborne to me a lot, actually. Like, I know gameplay-wise, they're the same thing.
Because the Bloodborne DLC weapons especially, like, changed the scope of the game, because you got a lot of long range and stuff like that when you already had guns in Bloodborne. So yeah, that's sort of what people are thinking, is that if they introduce new weapons and stuff, that'll change the way the game's played.
No, that makes sense.
Even with the 12 bosses that you already fought in the main game, so you can do another run through, use these new weapons, kill them in different ways, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
So
I just hadn't played it, so I watched the trailer and I was like, this could literally just be footage of the game that's already out, and I wouldn't know.
It was a good trailer, though.
I didn't want to speak to it.
It's got some really epic, scary music in that trailer.
That's what I'm saying. It reminded me of Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Like, especially there was a part, I'm looking over here because it kind of reminds me of, there was a part with a fire on the gothic, like, cathedral-looking thing, and I was like, this just looks like
Bloodborne.
Scrapped Bloodborne assets. Is honestly what it looks
like.
Maybe
there's usually a lot of content in these Souls games, DLCs, so
should be a good one.
Should be good.
October 25th for that. Let's move on to some questions. If you want your question on the show, go ahead and leave it down below, and we can hopefully get to it. This was an interesting one, and it goes back to something I was talking about earlier. If you could go back in time and tell yourself to play a game at launch, which game would you choose and why?
At launch?
Yes, at the launch of the game. So I'll start, so you guys get kind of an idea. Mine would be The Witness, and I'm so happy that it was just announced that it's coming for Xbox, because I think I'm going to get it that day and just hang out with the Xbox crowd and hear what their thoughts and stuff are, because that's a game that is super long, so it's like fun to talk about everything, and it's just like shrouded in mystery and what the heck's going on and all that, and everybody was so into it to the point where you would watch somebody that, like, people keep journals of that game because it just drives you mad, and like there's puzzles where you have to look in a mirror and draw something and put shapes together, literally looking through a mirror. And it was making people act like crazy people. And I wish I was part of that and knew why they were doing that. And I didn't really get to do it. And I played it for those few hours on my friend's account, but it was his account, so I didn't want to, like, you know, go down the rabbit hole and stuff. And so if I could go back and be like, hey, it's not coming out physically, just go buy the freaking game.
Just buy the damn thing.
I would have loved to be part of the Witnesses, like, what the heck's going on here group of people.
Huh. I don't know how to answer that yet.
You can take a moment.
Yeah.
Any game that had a lot of buzz. I mean, it could also be one that you just didn't get to.
That's fair.
You know, that you still maybe haven't gotten to that you wish you played at launch. You know what I mean?
No. I mean, I do, but...
I'm probably going to hate myself for this answer. Probably World of Warcraft. I have never touched that game.
That's fair.
But I know there's just a group of friends that, you know, I would have had a lot more memories, a lot more, you know, whatever with if I had touched that game. But I knew from the get-go, like, oh, this is one of those MMOs. I can't do that. And, you know, we've all probably seen the people that, you know, where did they go, you know, once the game came out and
disappear.
Still haven't heard of them since. And, I mean, the game's still going strong till this day. So
yeah, it's very impressive.
Normally, I think my default answer probably would have been Persona or something like that. But these are the types of games where there's going to be 3 installments of it. And the third one's got hours and hours and hours more. So the normal type of answer really doesn't work for these.
Yeah.
And stuff like Mass Effect and Witcher I did get on release day. So my easy answers are kind of out the window. But yeah, probably...
I mean, any MMO makes sense because you even like online games, you have that community at day one. Like, I got Guild Wars the week after it launched, Guild Wars 2. The week after it launched, and it was much different than now. Like, I went and did a boss fight yesterday or 2 days ago. Hardest boss in the game, and barely anybody shows up to it because they know that it's not going to be beaten because not enough people show up to it type thing.
Yeah.
So people just don't even go. So you go there and there's like no people trying to even take down this big boss. Whereas I remember the day the boss came out, it spawns like every 30 minutes or whatever. There's just
you get probably
thousands of people just waiting for the boss to show up. I'm like, this is awesome. And now you go there and there's like a bunch of underleveled people that wish that they had been there during the time.
The only real resurgence you get of that stuff is when a game goes to like free to play
or an expansion.
Or an expansion. Like Old Republic. I had that day one. It was pretty neat, but it's the only MMO experience I have.
Nothing from you? Can't think of anything?
I mean, the first thing I thought was I wish I'd been playing League since it came out.
Oh, that's fair.
I wish I'd been playing League in the earlier days.
Yeah, that's one of those where there's a lot of like skins, there's a lot of content.
They were pre-order skins, which the game started free to play, so not many people have pre-order skins for a free to play game.
So you get a lot of people who are like, oh, look at this guy, he's got that skin, I can't buy that.
Can you trade skins or no?
Nope. Used to be able to, but it was all third-party stuff that they shut down.
That was the same thing with once again going back to Guild Wars, because I played that from the start. So I had these skins that I ended up selling off and everything. And my outfit in that game, for people who know, whatever, but it's about 7,000 gold total. And like I look at my shoulder pads and they're like 1,000 gold now, which is insane. The most expensive item in the game that you can buy is 5,000 gold. So my full outfit's 7,000. So it's a lot. And like I look at it and I'm like, man, I had 11 of those, and I sold them like they were nothing. And I look at the other things, I'm like, man, I had I like my back piece. I had like 3 of them or something, and I sold them for like 10 gold, and now they're 600 gold. There's things like that that I wish I held on to.
Fair enough.
Like dumbass.
That's how it works.
But let's do another question before we do that final one. If this is just a quick one that I thought would be cute. If you could have your likeness in any game, which game would it be and why?
Ooh, I have no idea. I'd want to be in a fighting game just because I think that would be funny.
That would be funny.
Like, I don't know, put me in Tekken. That would be fun. I think that'd be hilarious.
It's like Bob and Tekken.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
You're just a skin for him.
Yeah, put me in Tekken.
I want to be, since we can't go 5 minutes without mentioning it, I want to be a social link in Persona.
Terrible.
Which one would you be?
Probably the Judgment one. Yeah. I'd be the Judgment social link in Persona.
I wouldn't get that one. Just skip that one.
That guy again?
Yeah. I'm sick of this shit.
I would be in Andromeda. Mass Effect Andromeda.
Would you be like behind the bar? Would you be a bartender?
Oh, I would be in the bar. I would probably break the fourth wall and mention how shitty the end of Mass Effect 3 was in some form or fashion. Man, what happened back on Earth? In year, whatever.
I thought that shit was Shepard.
And I would be drinking myself into oblivion.
Into the abyss.
Just into a stupor.
All right. Before we move on to the game releases, I wanted to make a little detour topic and talk about Kellen.
Oh, God.
You messaged me at like 3 a.m. a few days ago.
Yeah, I was at work.
And you were just like, my PSN's hacked. And I was like,
yep.
I was like, what? And you go, my PSN's hacked. And I was like, how do you know? And you're like, well, my email's changed and my PayPal got charged. So why don't you go ahead and tell your story of exactly what happened?
I'm at work. I'm just talking to a guy at work. I have my phone in my hand because I was looking something up. And all of a sudden I hear ding, ding. I'm like, PayPal? Oh, fuck. So somebody dinged me for $40 by getting my PSN account. How they got it, I still don't know.
So it was on Neverwinter.
Yeah,
right?
they bought the Neverwinters in or whatever.
Zen, which is apparently a common thing for like gold farmers to get because I think you can buy something in the game that you can transfer to other accounts, and that's the whole idea behind it. So I looked into it. There's definitely other people who have had this problem, their account getting hacked, though nobody's figured out the source of the hack because it doesn't seem to be through Sony. And
I don't know how he got it.
It seems like they can only buy stuff if your PayPal is linked to it.
Yep.
Because they don't verify your PayPal. If you use your credit card, they use a security code. If you use PayPal, they just let you buy it.
You just click it and you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So first off, I would highly recommend removing your PayPal from your PSN if you haven't attached there.
Or buying Neverwinter.
Yeah, that's true.
That was the first giveaway. I was like, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I think it's a free MMO or something. But anyway, I went and I checked mine, and I made sure that mine wasn't, and it wasn't, and I realized that my PayPal wasn't linked to it. But apparently there was a password breach through LinkedIn where they got a whole bunch of usernames and passwords, and people are just trying to like link them to each other to see if it's a PlayStation thing, like what it's for, and that may be where the breach came from. But you said you don't have a LinkedIn.
I've never been on the website LinkedIn,
so I don't know how that happened or how anybody. And your passwords are like different for I don't understand how that could possibly happen. But this is definitely happening to more a sizable amount of people. I don't want to like make up a number.
What was funny, it was on Wednesday or Thursday?
Something like that, yeah.
It had been literally 5 or 6 days since I had changed my password.
Yeah.
But I changed it the Friday before to get by.
So they somehow got your new password.
Yeah, somehow it worked. Don't know how. And luckily my PS4 has auto sign in, so it signed me back in. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll go change the email back. So
really? I never asked how you resolved it. So is that...
my PS4 auto signs me in, and to change your email, you literally just go type it in. You don't have to confirm a password, anything. You literally
security.
You literally just type in the email and it changes it.
At least it's as dumb to fix it as it is to breach it.
Over.
So I took a picture of the guy's email, so I have his email.
Jeez, that's ridiculous. And like the best thing is they just introduced this 2-step verification like Monday to do accounts. So I don't know if people are like trying to do it before that. Before everybody like sets their 2-step verification. I think it's like you get an email or a text message code you need to put in or whatever.
Yeah.
But my God. Yeah, so people, they're buying the Neverwinters.
Buying Neverwinters.
I don't know what that means, but I would just say watch your PayPal account if it's linked, because somebody possibly could have gotten into your
luckily my PS4 auto signed in, so I just went back in and changed all this stuff back.
The other thing that's important to note is if you request a refund, Sony will apparently ban your account. There was lots of mentions of that.
So I ended up talking to a guy on the Sony website through chat, and he wouldn't do shit for me. He was useless.
Sounds about right.
He was completely, and PayPal has already refunded me the $40.
Oh, that's good.
Said we didn't see you already you'd set this up with Sony, so it's your fault, but we're going to refund you anyway.
Wow,
okay, cool.
Yeah, see, PayPal's a good company.
PayPal's great. Sony was the Sony guy literally goes, "You've already gotten a refund." I'm going through my history. I'm like, "I've never had a refund with you." He's like, "You've already had one. Can I help you with anything else today?" I'm like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, so but I saw that if people were asking for refunds for Sony and like canceling the transaction and stuff, and then they'd get their account banned, which means they lose all of their digital content, that stuff. So just be careful. If it happened to you, tread lightly. Like make sure you confirm things on, look around before you just go and like cancel it. Because
I talked to the Sony guy. I was like, "Yeah, my PlayStation got hacked," and he was like, "Okay, can't help you."
Yeah,
cool story.
Didn't ask if I had the account back. Didn't care. He was just like, "All right."
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That sounds like. So I bought something from Toy Wiz. Probably last year, I think. I bought some Suicide Squad statues, which should be here Monday. So by the time this goes up, I'll have them, and I'm going to do like an unboxing of them and everything. But anyway, I bought these, expensive statues from them, and they said pre-order July. It'll come out. And I'm like, okay. So I waited 8 months, however long it was. Hit July. July ended. It's August. Still says pre-order July. And I'm like, all right, guys, I'm going to send them an email.
Come on.
So I sent them an email because every other outlet already has them and shipped them out, and people have them.
Yeah.
I'm super late to the party. And I was like, hey, I noticed that this item is out and that your pre-order still says it's coming in July. And I'm just wondering the status of my stuff. And he sent me back an email, and he was like, we cannot control how long it takes us to get items in. And I was like, so are we talking, because they charge you when you, it's not one of those things that they charge you when it ships, like Amazon.
Yeah.
They charge you when you order it. Mm-hmm. So I was like, you have my money. You should probably care a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I was like furious about this. And then one day it just goes up and it says out of stock. And I'm like, what the?
You son.
Yeah, I was getting so mad at them, but it turns out that I did get an email. It just didn't come from Toy Wiz. It came directly from like UPS or whatever sent it, so it didn't say. But
oh, really?
They're late to the party on the thing, and I went and I looked at it, and apparently I didn't do it, but apparently it happened exactly like that to somebody else. Like it went in stock and they didn't ship it and all that stuff, and they canceled the order, and like Toy Wiz refused to cancel their order even though they had their money and they never shipped the thing. So I'm gonna I know it's a complete aside, but fuck Toy Wiz. They have the lowest prices and the lowest customer service. It was awful. It sounds just like the customer service you got for Sony.
The Sony guy was so nice, but he was completely fucking useless.
He just sounded oblivious. Like
he was useless.
Hey, my account got hacked. Oh, that's terrible. Can I help you with anything?
Yeah.
He's like, can I help you? He literally copy and paste this long thing about how to change my password.
I was just about to say, it sounds like when you go into a GameStop and you're like, yeah, I'm going to buy this. And they're like, would you like to sign up for the reward? No, I just want to buy this. Do you want any pre-orders today? I just want to buy the thing.
Let me buy the damn
just
thing.
Saying the stuff you have to say and actually listen to me.
Quit reading from your script and just listen.
Yeah,
and then handing you the receipt. Hey, if you wouldn't mind taking the survey.
I mean,
I want to leave.
The guy even made like a Dragon Ball Z reference, and then I was like, okay, this guy's all right and fucking useless. Son of a bitch.
So anyway, yeah, if you have a PayPal link to your account, I would go check it out.
I would cut that off.
The moral
all this
of the
chaos
story.
from that price hike. Got people hacking.
Yeah,
these
I don't know what's happening, but like I couldn't find a mass case of it. It was one of those. It was one of those things where I went on YouTube and like searched it, and I saw people like kind of vlogging about what happened to them, and I listened to a couple of their stories and things, and they're very similar. Though yours was really cheap. Yours was only $40.
It was two $20 things. I literally caught it within the minute he did it. Because my PayPal dings me every time it's used.
Yeah, yours was cheap. I saw people.
So I immediately
it was like 200, 400.
That sucks
like,
for that guy, at least, that Kellen is up at that kind of hour.
So I immediately went to my PayPal and took my card off. I'm like, fuck you, you can't get anything now.
Oh, I got a night shift guy? No.
Son of a bitch. 3 in the morning? Oh, boy.
What the hell are the odds of this happening? Yeah. That was a pain in the ass.
So speaking of pain in the ass, Gareth didn't do the releases for this
bad
week.
Gareth.
He was busy Pokemoning. There was a nest that was Shelders, and it changed to Ghastlies, and he got all excited and went and got a Gengar. So he was out doing that, and we have the releases, but we don't have the fun little asides that we normally get for
Garrett's
them.
write-ups. I'm
Yeah, I do
disappointed.
too. So let's just blaze through this list, and if we know any of them, we can
He at least
point
did it for a
something out.
Gengar. So, I mean,
Huh?
I mean,
he at least did it for a Gengar.
Oh, yeah.
So
I only need 2
Can't
more
blame him.
Ghastlies for my Gengar.
Yeah.
I know you care.
No.
Not even in the slightest.
I don't think this is English, but we're going to say it. La Havre, the Inland Port for PC. Assetto Corsa, Xbone PS4.
None of these are in I accidentally printed the French version.
No. I know the next one. Attack on Titan, Xbone, PS4, PS3, Vita, PC.
I'm getting better reviews than I thought.
Kellen and I are gonna get that game.
Well, there's
Probably.
already been one of them, and it was kind of terrible.
Awful.
Yes.
Yes.
But this one apparently fixed a lot of the problems and is a fine game.
Yeah, this is the first in a few, at least for me, anime to video game crossovers that I'm gonna get
That
this
is
year because there's
interesting.
because there's an Attack on Titan one and there's a Berserk one coming out.
I
towards the
think
end of the
I'm
year.
getting the Steins Gate too. There's a new
and
Steins
there's
Gate.
the Steins Gate Zero.
So there's a handful of these that are picking up in quality, I guess.
What about the Psychopaths one?
That too.
Yeah, there's
Um,
Psychopaths.
But yeah, these are. I was talking to Kellen earlier in the week about this Attack on Titan is like the perfect like $20 or $30 game,
Yeah.
something like that. So when it drops, I'm gonna snatch it. If
I will
can.
get it eventually.
Yeah.
Bloxic VR for the Vive. Huh? Oh.
No, I don't know.
The Final Station, Xbone, PS4, PC. Champions of Anteria for PC. Four-Sided Fantasy, PS4, PC. God Eater 2, Rage Burst, PS4, Vita, PC.
I at least know what God Eater is.
Yeah.
Semi, kind of.
Yeah,
Sorta.
I don't have any interest in it, but
Yeah.
Hatsune Miku Diva X, PS4, Vita.
Oh, I know this game.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, this is a rhythm game where you got to hit the X's and the circles and the triangles and the squares when they appear on the screen. And there's some, you got to swipe the touchpad at certain points. I actually really like them. The music is the Vocaloid, Hatsune Miku stuff. But I actually think they're very good rhythm games.
Fair enough. Live Lock, Xbone, PS4, PC. Nebulos, PS4 and PC. One Way Trip, PS4. Resident
So
Evil
many PS4 games.
Resident Evil 4, Xbone, PS4. Yeah, there's a lot of PS4 on here.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah, me too.
RE4.
This is something that I just found out yesterday. I was
Mhm.
watching Censored Gaming or Censorship Gaming, some YouTube channel where they go over everything that got censored, and I found out that the GameCube version of the game has breast physics on Ashley. I think that's
Yeah.
her name. And none of the other versions of the games do. Just the US GameCube.
That's really weird.
And I was like, I wonder if the new re-release will have it. And that was the end of that.
And then you were done. Oh, God.
Second best Resident Evil.
It's my favorite of the ones that I've played. I think I would enjoy. I have not played 2, so is that the one that you think's the best?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have not played 2, and I haven't played 0, which is one that I think I would also very much like.
Yeah. Strike Vector X, Xbone, PS4. Talent not included, PC.
Kellen got his own game.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. The Turing Test, Xbone, PC. Verdun, Xbone, PS4. World of Warcraft Legion, PC.
Oh, that's this week?
Yep.
That's what made World of
uh-oh.
Warcraft jump up into my brain when we were going over the questions earlier.
Yeah, I
was
saw ads for
it's-
this.
It's back. So there's that small subset of friends where, well, I'll see you in a month.
They're gone, yeah. That sucks too because just rounding back to Guild Wars, it's free to play. And I have a friend who's like been on the fence about playing it and stuff. And now that I'm kind of back into it, I was like, hey, now's a good time to get into it. He's a hardcore World of Warcraft player.
Not happening.
Never mind. That was a stupid comment.
Not happening. Neurovoider, PC. Run, Gun, Jump Gun, PC.
That sounds like my game then.
No, your game's next. Shiny, Xbone, PC. And last we have Tahira PC.
Cool.
What's shiny about?
I don't know, Gareth.
Damn it.
I'm kind of interested though.
It's shiny.
All right, let's
That's all I
end,
got.
as we always do, with an unpopular opinion
Oh,
from the head of this man, Yoda.
from the wise Yoda.
The wise Yoda once said, hope it's a good one.
Okay. Well, you put him in there, so.
Yeah, but that doesn't... Oh, here we go. Persona 3 is better than Persona 4. We were actually just talking
had
about
this
this
conversation
downstairs, so that's
before we
crazy.
Oh
walked
my
over.
god! I wish I could have another week on this, and I would have my spreadsheets and my charts.
You
and
want me to?
whatever.
You want me to put it back? I just threw it. I can put it back and grab a different one.
Nick does love
That
spreadsheets.
could be its own episode.
Okay, we'll
At
pick a
the
different one. I'll put it back.
I'm sorry, whoever.
Yeah, I don't have a name
Put
on
that.
them, so there's a lot in here that don't have names. So
Tune in next week.
Nick does love spreadsheets.
Unless I die, then
okay, here's an interesting.
If he dies,
The
he
Rayman
dies.
games at this point are now better than Mario games.
Rayman, okay. I thought you said Rain Man. I was
I
like,
thought you
what?
said Rain Man too.
I
so
was
I was
like,
kind of
no.
thinking.
Rayman.
I was like, oh, Rayman. Rayman.
I actually kind of agree with this one. So I don't know if the Rayman games have gone up in quality. Like they're really good platformers. I think the Mario games have dipped in quality, and that's
Well,
where
Dip is a nice way of saying.
Well, when your best game is, made in the late
And
80s.
the thing is, people lost their freaking minds for Mario Maker. I thought it was fine. People lost their minds for Super Mario 3D World, the Wii U launch one. I thought it was bad. Like, I don't think that's even a good Mario.
It's
I don't
okay.
think it's
Well,
good.
no.
Every time I played it, I was like, man, I really wish this was a full 3D Mario game or a 2D Mario game. Why is it this weird in between where it's hard to tell where
You're
I'm
on the
jumping
wall
and
yeah.
I accidentally fall in pits and it doesn't feel like my fault. It feels like the game is cameras at a really weird angle. Whereas Rayman's just a really pretty, it's like got that hand-drawn look to it, almost like Child of Light. The level designs are great. They're all themed like Mario normally is, but their gimmicks aren't as gimmicky as Mario games got. Like the Mario 3D World one, I can think of one level off the top of my head, and it's the music level because that one was cool, where to the beat of the music, the platforms changed. I was that was a neat concept. I couldn't tell you another level in that game. You get a cat suit.
Yeah, that's all I remember from the game.
Sweet. So, my opinion on this is overall, Mario has better games and everything, but, present day, right now, I think if you
Current
compare,
Mario
the
versus
newest, the newest ones, Rayman is probably better.
Yeah.
I know I'm heavily biased against Mario games.
Oh, you're one of them, huh?
I like the spin-off games. I'll buy every Mario Tennis, Strikers, anything.
Oh, Mario Strikers?
Party,
I love Mario
Kart,
Strikers.
any of those. The spin-off games I'm all about. The characters are cool too.
Yeah.
But as far as the main games,
They got a lot of depth. Woohoo!
the
Not 2D.
the main games, I was done with Mario after Super 3 or something like that. I was,
Oh, wow. All the way back there.
Super
yeah,
Mario
I was
World.
just kind of
I lost my way at Galaxy. People love, once again,
Oh, people love that
are
game.
so obsessed with Galaxy and all these ones 10 out of 10, amazing. And I'm like, man, I played Galaxy. I beat it. I thought it was fine. I thought it was really I got kind of sick playing it.
You get sick doing a lot of stuff.
Once again, I can't wait for VR. Once again, I was like, yeah, I really wish this was not just a gimmicky, weird space thing, and they just built a 64 or even Sunshine style situation. I don't know why they always have to. Nintendo always has to have a gimmick in their game that carries through the entire game, and I wish they just make a fucking video game, just make one. Why has there got to be a gimmick?
That's their thing.
So do you have any affiliation with Rayman or
I've never
Mario?
played a Rayman game.
Never played a Rayman, and you think Sonic's better than Mario. So.
He is better than Mario.
So who wins in a fight? The Raymans or the Marios with what you know?
From what I know, I thought Rayman have guns.
He's a floating. He kind of looks like the Wii. Or
Yeah, he's got an orange head.
Yeah.
He doesn't have limbs.
Yeah.
He jumps and bounces. Side scroller. He plays. There's lots of music.
Can you just knock him apart then if he's not really attached?
No, he's got a weird bounce to him. Anyway.
So you can't jump and stomp on him like Mario.
Well, that's no fun. That's all Mario can do. Or throw the occasional fireball.
Yeah, if they were in an actual fight. If Rayman was in Smash Brothers, he probably should have been.
Probably.
Well, that would make sense.
Mario would probably
I like
win in a
Rain
fight,
Man better.
Rain Man versus Mario.
Oh
Who
yeah,
wins?
Rain Man wins that easily.
All right, that's where we're going to end the show. If you would like an unpopular opinion in Yoda's cranium, go ahead and leave it down below.
One
and
that will answer.
Yeah, and
Sorry about that.
And I'll print it out and have the full paragraph because these are just sentences
like
that I kind of threw in here for an idea.
Next week.
No, yeah,
Calling it now.
Yeah, we can do that. But anyway, thank you for being here, Kellen.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here, Nick.
Eh.
And thank you so much for watching.
You just like
And
sticking
we're
your hand in Yoda.
That's true. I like the Yoda head.
I feel bad about pushing that question aside, but I was literally in the process.
No, it's fine.
Working on that,
comparing and contrasting.